Okay. What was I saying? Um, I think that comfort is a thing that is like putting comfort first is a thing that's sort of foreign in like the way that the world works, like in this world right now. And also like particularly as a Nigerian, because honestly I can only speak on the Nigerian experience. But I like today I was feeling a bit lightheaded and like I just went outside and sat on the floor and started eating my chips. And like that got me a few looks from people outside, and honestly I understand it because like we live in a world where like we say beauty is pain, like oh my god, beauty is pain, like as a joke, but this is a sort of doctrine that is put in our heads. Like this is indoctrinated, especially like oh, as like somebody that growing up female, and I say that in the biological term, growing up female, like if it is put in your head that like beauty is pain, like getting like really painful hairstyles, going out in heels is like get used to it, because like for for the things that are essentially like what's the word that you would say are valued as beautiful sort of have like a painful side that comes with it. And it's like when people see a person that's like bro, like I will be comfortable, like I don't care, or it will get you strange looks, and it makes sense that it gets you strange looks because like yeah, interesting. And I don't know, I just found that to be something that I noticed. I was like, okay, this is really really interesting. And what else do I want to speak about? Also, like this also makes sense with me because like growing up like with like oh, I have breathing issues, or like being autistic is like to be able to survive and like be like exist as the best version of myself, I need like to be okay, I need to be fine, I need to not be overstimulated, and like I need like essentially I just need to be comfortable. And it's really really interesting because like it's so like watching other people notice things like that, because they look at you and sometimes they don't even know like why they are looking at you, and it's like, and I am perceived as the strange one, but it's like why do you glamorize suffering? And that is also the thing, because like when you like say that you grew up rich, people sort of invalidate a lot of things that you feel. And sometimes I do it because like I see some rich people and I'm just like, nigga, what the heck? But like, why is that the norm? Why is having to suffer and grind, why is that more like valued? Why can't everything be easy breezy? And I think that's how like capitalism and like all the entire system is still like it still has a strong hold, because people don't notice that like wait, this is not right, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Yeah, I just think that's really interesting. Also, another thing I wanted to speak on is I've been reading this magazine, Gita Journal, and just like a few pages in, and there's something that I noticed, like their intentional use of like big words. And I really enjoy that because I feel like in media right now, like even in books, like there's like they're dumbing down sentences, they're like dumbing down shows, 8 episodes, trying to like communicate everything in a short amount of time so that people don't lose interest. And I think like the reason that we watch and like read and for everything, even though it is entertainment, it also serves as a form of education. So when you take away that education, why? And I really like the magazine because it's like it's sort of like wait, I've never seen that word before, and it sends you to like research and sends you to like a rabbit hole, and you're learning about it, like a bunch of things. You're learning about people, learning about stories that like you've never heard before. And it's really interesting because when you watch a really good show, a really good confusing show that keeps you at the edge of your toes, you have to go and watch an explainer video you have to go on YouTube or like TikTok and like do a deep dive that makes you find other shows, makes you find about the actors and the crew and like everything. But when you watch like a rather simple show, it's like, oh, okay, great. Because like this is a show that I recently watched, and why I think it's a really good rom-com. That it doesn't add like, there is like a bit of education, but in the interview that the person said is that like they try not to live too much like, oh, you don't have to research about this, because it's like, oh, I'm not trying to like serve as a form of education, but if you're like really interested, but it's like, pique my interest, put things that like, if I wasn't interested, make me interested in that said topic. It's like, why are you only creating things that people with previous interests will find interesting? Tell me what to be interested in. Like, does that make sense? But yeah, it's just like, I'm currently like comfort and education, like edutainment, I guess. It's like, it's just really interesting. I wonder how that ties into each other, because how does comfort, yeah, it does tie into each other, because the refusal to make things complicated is like a form of comfort. So it's like, is comfort always a good thing? Yeah, that's an interesting question. It's like, because it's like, oh, I'm prioritizing comfort, but like academically, is that a good thing? I think physically it might serve as a really good purpose, because it's like, but like when you are too comfortable, how does that affect you mentally? Interesting. Anyways, I'll have to think about that more. Toodles.